Talk and Power, your motorsport and motoring radio show. Now on 88.5 FM, The Valley Comes Alive. And podcasting across iTunes and talkandpower.com.au.
All right, I'm here with royalty in the drag racing fraternity. I'm not talking about John Zapp here either. I'm talking about the Glover family, and we've got father and son, Peter and Brett, here on the podcast. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're down here at Penrite tonight for their opening of the warehouse, and brought the car down, and it's been a nice evening.
You know, before you arrived, they didn't know who you were because they were looking for PTS. And I said, yeah, that's them.
Yeah.
Performance Tested Seals.
That's us, yep.
Talk us through the name PTS, because PTS, Performance Tested Seals, been around for a long time. You developed the Performance Tested Seals. Peter, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, no, I think we had a lot of issues initially with breaking seals.
Yep.
Got to the point where when you break a seal, you do a housing in, and it just became one thing after another. And I thought there's got to be a better way than what we have now. So, hence that started the ball rolling, and we tried different things, and some success and no success, and until we eventually got it nubbed out, and never looked back.
So that name's been around for quite some time. That car, correct me if I'm wrong, you debuted this car in 2000, am I right? Or thereabouts?
No, it was 2007.
Oh, jeez, I was way off.
Yeah. So, we still had the Datsun when the Motorplex first opened.
Okay. Yep, all right. Well, talk us through the Dado days. I remember that car quite well, actually. Talk us through that, because that was quite a handful for you, wasn't it?
It was. We got to a point where the power that it was making was a lot more than what the car was designed for, and obviously with the wheels in the air, you didn't have a lot of steering, and it was just leapt up to, are the wheels going to come down before we hit the wall, or are we going to make it?
You stepped up into that's Rx7. That one was the last of the Rx7s. That one, am I right in saying
yes,
that?
that's correct.
The last
Series
Rx7. 6. Yeah, Series 6. Talk us through that car. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anthony Rodriguez was involved in the build of that as well, or the development. No,
that was the original number one street car in Australia.
Yep.
And I bought the car off him, but I got a phone call from a good friend of ours, Paul Perticelli, saying, "I've got your new drag car here," and it turned out he'd bought a FD out of the US. Out of Japan.
Yep.
And so he gave us the car, and
yep.
From there on, the rest is history in that point of view.
Oh, so that came from Paul then?
Yeah.
The
body did,
okay, righto.
Yeah, so the chassis was from Anthony.
Yeah.
He had run that before.
Yep.
And then, obviously had an accident, and then we bought it off him and rebuilt the car and with a new body, and here we are.
Yep, okay. No. Tell us what how the season went for yourselves.
The start of the season looked very promising for us. We went out to a test day before it started, ran a couple of 7.0s, which we were quite happy with, but we were still having start line issues. The car was bogging, situations like that. So we made some changes through the season, and it wasn't just 4-link, it was multiple things we were trying to improve that. And it didn't really move forward from that, to be honest. So we did work out where we needed to be, and at the end of the season we ran a PB in the 60 foot, which is what we were chasing all year. So we got there in the end, but it did take us some time.
Yep. Pete, I'll tell you something. I've never held a gold Christmas tree before, but I have now. I just picked your one up and put it in the back of the car. That.
But it's not mine. It's not mine. It's his.
It's a family. The Glover family are. You are the epitome of family drag racing. Yeah. You really are, because it's always the Glover family. It's never Peter Glover. Right. It's never Brett Glover. Yeah. Is it really? In the circles, in the drag racing circles, it's always been the Glovers. That's right. Yeah. And now, I know your daughter's involved as well, and she's here tonight as well. It's great to see the family all together and doing these sorts of things as a family motorsport team.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it'd be sad when that day comes to an end. It will come to an end one day, because I just can't go on forever and ever. But as long as I'm able to do it, I'm happy to keep doing it.
The one thing that I haven't mentioned before, and I've known you for a long time, Peter, and I know you give to the sport not just with that car and with what you do at the track, you give to the sport. I know WASMA, you were actively involved in WASMA, and a lot of the drag racing committees and clubs as well. I know you gave your personal time quite significantly to the sport. And I think the sport really owes you guys a debt of gratitude, no doubt.
No, I think, basically speaking, I think we're just giving back to the sport what it's given us. I'm still involved in I'm on the divisional council in WA for ANDRA, and I intend to stay on there as long as I can, as long as they want me to. That time will come to an end too. But I think it's been great for the family, but I think the family's also been good for the sport too.
For sure.
It's funny, Nick, how you talk about family. If you heard earlier the speeches here at Penrite, how family orientated that the business is here at Penrite, you know what I mean? Like talking with the mums here, they've flown over from Melbourne, how everyone that's sort of involved with the Penrite and ambassador program is always that family, family feel and family orientated. It's such a big thing. It's such a nice thing to hear that everything links together, in regards to family.
No, definitely. And, that's what builds success. If you've got the right people backing you, and family are the one that do that. If you have good family and everyone enjoys it, it helps you with your passion and you can become a successful team by just having the right people supporting you.
Yep. Just talk us through our listeners. You're a Group 2, what we call a Group 2 racer. We call it sportsman here in Australia, or Group 2. Tell us the people. So you run on a national index. So you run on a handicap that is, for the lack of a better word, is a national index. It's not a dial your own handicap, and it's not heads up either. But talk the listeners through how difficult that kind of racing is, because every time you go faster or touch that index, your index is affected by that, so you have to go faster again. How hard that is managing all that.
It's something that you're constantly working towards. You always know that things are evolving, and you have to keep up with what's going on, and everyone's going to get better, so you have to do the same. So every year you go down, we ran okay last year, and we shouldn't touch anything, but if we don't, we won't be competitive. So it's a matter of working out when you are competitive, keeping it consistent so you can win races. But also knowing when to go, okay, right, that's not going to be good enough next year, and we need to do something about that.
Yeah, because we see guys that come over here like Steve Norman comes to mind, is the first one that comes to mind. Now, I just don't know how they do it. They come here and they just keep going quicker and quicker and quicker. But we call it a sportsman category. Not really sportsman, is it? Because you're having to push the envelope just to be competitive all the time.
That's right. Yeah, and it requires a lot of effort to do it. You've got to be fairly dedicated to the cause, otherwise you're not going to be competitive. It's passion, it's desire, and you just got to put the effort in to make it happen. Guys,
it was great having you on the podcast. Where can we find details on the PTS team, or what you're called now, Advanced Auto Wreckers? So you've combined Falcon Specialist, that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, unfortunately the Falcons came to an end, so we did a bit of a name swap at work, and we're now Advanced Auto Wreckers. So we put that name on the car just to try and get everyone aware of what we're doing. But the team is still PTS. All our socials are all PTS Racing. Facebook, all that sort of stuff. We are on there, and
Okay, all right.
One important, a couple of important notes though, Nick. I think the fact that you rely on good sponsorship as well. People around, and very, very good crew you can trust implicitly, because when that car goes out on the track, you're putting someone else's life in danger, and if it's not right, it's just no good. But having good crew is so important to a good team.
And I know in particular your car, it's I don't want to say volatile, that's not the right word, but you've got to be like that car. I've seen it many times go down the track and say, and I go through all these different emotions as your car's going down the track, and it's so important. You're exactly right. You need crew that are dedicated, but more importantly, know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the reasons why I couldn't crew with Simon anymore, because I just told him, I really don't know what I'm doing. And this car now, we're 6.0s.
Yeah.
This was back then.
Yeah.
Running 6.0s is no good for me,
Yeah.
because you've got to know what you're doing.
Yes, correct. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and
we've been very fortunate. We've had the same crew from the get-go, and you know, they've stuck by. And you know, we haven't always had the best of times, but they're always there.
yeah. All right, guys. Well, look, it's a pleasure having you on. It's great to have you here, Pete. It's really good to see you. Last time I saw you was at the track. It was, I think it was the Western Nationals when I last saw you, or maybe the meet before that. But anyway, it was good to see you. And Brett, yourself was great. And thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having us.
No worries. Take care.
Bye-bye.